All right. So this is round one, Modern Hero with elves. We won the die roll, so of course we like to play first. Um, and do we want to keep this hand? So it's certainly not very explosive. Um, so we have Llanowar Elves on one. We can play Shaman of the Pack on two, presuming they don't kill our Llanowar Elves. And then we have a collected company afterwards. It's definitely on the slower side, but I think it's probably worth keeping, so let's try it out. I'm going to make this screen a little bit smaller because I don't think we need that much space. And it's I'm going to do my best to kind of fill up the dead air with some kind of talking. Uh, it's definitely a little bit different than streaming, where you have people commenting, as well as the option to play music in the background. But due to all the trademark nonsense, I've decided to just do this with no sound. So we'll see what our opponent's on, playing in Ancient Stirrings. So I should probably know what they're on at this point. Maybe, I mean, Ancient Stirrings says to me it's either some kind of Eldrazi or Tron. The Blooming Marsh is a little bit interesting to me. So it's Urza's Mine. So they're just green-black Tron. It's a deck I haven't had a lot of experience playing against. So our options this turn are to play out another Elvish Mystic, and just attack with this Llanowar Elves, which, presuming they don't do anything, is going to allow us to play Collected Company next turn. Though, our other option is to play Shaman of the Pack. And then, presuming they don't kill our Llanowar Elves, we also have access to Collected Company the next turn. So the reason to hold Shaman of the Pack would be basically to try to maximize the damage you get off it. But I think for mana efficiency's sake, we just want to play Shaman of the Pack this turn and play Collected Company the following turn. I don't think the one damage off the Llanowar Elves is really crucial. So I know they play Collective Brutality, and that could be pretty bad right here. All right, so Sylvan Scrying. We'll let them get whatever. I believe they got the Urza's Mine. Yeah, off the Ancient Stirrings. So they're revealing Sanctum of Ugin. Okay. So I'm going to collect a company before combat, in the event that we hit an Elvish Archdruid, just because it's another point of damage. And I don't think that it's going to make much of a difference. So that's our plan. All right, what do we want? So we can activate Uzuri next turn, which is pretty good. It also allows us to regenerate other elves. So I'm just trying to think, because we could get Heritage Druid in Dwynen's Elite. Then we'd also have 3 mana up, but no real finishers. I mean, we could Court of Calling, but I just don't really like that play. I think I just want to put the maximum amount of pressure on our opponent, so we're going to go Dwynen's Elite in Uzuri. And then the rest can go in the bottom. I don't think it really matters. Okay, and then we will smash. Our opponent's really got to do something this turn, because we're just presenting a huge amount of damage next turn. I think this Oblivion Stone is going to be a little bit too slow. Okay. So let's just do the overrun ability. And yeah, this is going to be more than enough damage. Great. All right, so let's go to sideboarding. I think that Tron is a pretty reasonable matchup for us. The only problem would be, I would think of like red-based Tron where they have Pyroclasms. I'm not sure if I really want any of these cards. Let's kind of go through and see. Because my understanding of the green-black Tron is that they're mostly mono green, but they have stuff like Collective Brutality in the deck, which is good, which is reasonable against us for sure, because you get to kill an elf and then potentially snag a Collected Company or a Chord of Calling. We don't want Essence Warden. Fracturing Gust seems a little gratuitous. It's a little expensive. We can board in the Reclamation Sage if we are worried about something like Oblivion Stone. If I didn't have the Azuri that turn and was able to use Chord of Calling to search up Reclamation Sage, that would have bought us another turn. As is, I think I'm just going to jam it, and we'll see how that goes. I think sometimes people can over sideboard a little bit when they already have a pretty good matchup. So yeah, this hand is great. We would certainly keep it. Okay, we got our expedition map. All right, so we'll start with Blooming Marsh. I think we want to play Elvish Mystic on 1. That would allow us to play Heritage Druid and Dwynen's Elite next turn, create 3 mana to play another Dwynen's Elite. Just trying to think if that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Green. Basically, this also means that our opponent can't go natural turn 3 Tron, which is great. So, I mean, the more time we have, really, the better. They might have some instant speed removal, but I am not entirely sure what it is. So, we're just gonna play like they don't really have it. What do we want to do? Green. I think we're gonna play the. I'm trying to think if order really matters that much here. Because if I play the Dwynen's Elite and they kill the Elvish Mystic in response, then I don't get the elf off Dwynen's Elite, which would mean that I can't add the mana with Heritage Druid. So I'm gonna play Heritage Druid first, and then we'll play Dwynen's Elite. Green, Dwynen's Elite. Okay. And let's go ahead and tap 3 L's. 1, 2, 3. Play another Elite. Okay. And yeah, I think that's all we can do here. Can't do anything with that 1 mana, unfortunately. So we have a reasonable amount of damage on the battlefield. So we got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. We will nug them for a bunch with Shaman. So yeah. Okay. Play Nykthos. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do. I'm just trying to think of the way to maximize. This is the trickier part about playing elves. Like, you have plenty of hands where you just get to play a bunch of creatures and then win. But it is a little bit trickier thinking about the way to maximize damage and sequence things correctly. So I'm thinking, what could they have? I mean, even if they map, they still won't have Tron until the following turn. So I'm not really that worried unless they do something like play Damnation. Okay. So let's go green, green. Let's play Dwynen's Elite. Okay. I'm going to tap some creatures. 1, 2, 3. And we'll use Nykthos. 1, 2. And then we will Collected Company. 2, 3. Alright, well, we definitely want the Elvish Archdruid. And I think we want the Elvish Visionary at this point. This can go in any order, I don't care. I'm just trying to think of the way that we could really get punished here. Because I can play the Llanowar Elves, but basically we're doing we're doing a ton of damage this turn. So I think it's better to just hold it. In the event that they do play Damnation, then we can play Llanowar Elves and potentially finish them off with the Shaman of the Pack still. So let's have a lot of our creatures. Okay. Getting a tower, that's fine. Okay, they're pushing our druid, so that's fine. Hopefully the 1 damage from the Llanowar Elves is not going to ruin us. I think at this point that we are good. Okay. Great. So now I can do all the things I want to do. So opponent just has colorless mana available. So I think it's fine to just do all this pre-combat. Yeah, it should be. Green. Play Llanowar Elves. Green. Black. Colorless. Shaman. Okay. And we will smash with everything. All right. Well, that's the Tron matchup. You know, I think that if they had played the turn 3 Tron, and yeah, I think turn 3 Tron, turn 4 Ugin. I mean, turn 4 Ugin probably would have done it this game. So, you know, maybe they got a little bit slow start, and maybe they didn't have quite enough interaction, but I think this seems like a pretty reasonable matchup. So, cool. We will update our win column. 2-0. Nice. And I will see you guys for the next round.